Hey guys, welcome to Main Vein Games. It's Blue, and this is Tip Tuesday, episode number 6. And in this video, I'm going to be going over 5 tips that will hopefully improve your skill in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So I'll get into those in just a bit, but before I do, just leave a comment and subscribe, and you'll be eligible to win a CSGO case key that we give out, one per new CSGO video that we make. So be sure to do that. But anyways, let's get into the 5 tips. So starting with number 1. Okay, so the first tip is going to be to watch your own demos. This is a pretty straightforward, pretty simple tip, but it's something that a lot of people don't actually do, and it's something that will improve your game a lot. So especially with this new watch feature that Valve put in the game, it automatically records all competitive matches, and you can just go to the watch tab and then download any demo you want. I think it shows the last 8 demos, so you can download them, and then I think they save in the downloaded tab forever. As you can see here, and then you can just go watch it whenever you want. But anyways, this is a good thing to do because a lot of the times in the heat of the moment in the match, you won't actually notice the mistakes you've made, but if you go back and watch, you'll see that you did actually make a lot of mistakes, and that was the reason you died, not just because the guy was hacking or you lagged. So it's good to look at your matches, point out your mistakes, and then maybe work on them from there. And this doesn't mean you have to watch every demo, but if there's times in matches where you think, I shouldn't have died there, I wonder what happened, you can go back and look at it and then maybe fix your mistakes. Okay, so tip number 2 is going to be along the same lines as the first tip, but instead of watching your own demos, I do recommend watching pro matches as well. So you can go to esca.net and download the latest ESCA invite match. For example, I'm on Team iBuyPower. They're currently number 1 in ESCA invite, and I can download their match and basically watch a point of view of any of the players in this match and see how they play, because there are a lot of small things that you can learn from watching these people play, because they do a lot of things that help their game out a lot, and there's simple things that you can easily adjust to if you learn how to do it. So by watching these matches, you might learn over time. Mind you, you're not going to instantly achieve their skill by watching them play, but it'll definitely help you get there by learning their spray control, just the small things they do throughout the match. So it's good to watch pro matches. Also, if you type in demo UI in console, you can fast forward or slow down the demo as you please. So it's nice to be able to edit that, so you don't have to actually watch all the boring parts. You can just watch when they're fighting and all of that. And if you don't want to download these demos, you can also watch matches on YouTube. However, you're not actually controlling what you see when watching on YouTube, so it's a little harder to actually learn. But it still helps, so whichever one you want to do. Anyways, let's move on to tip number 3. Okay, so tip number 3 is going to be to Deathmatch. If you haven't heard of this, it's a game mode where there are no respawn times, so as soon as you die, you respawn instantly. It's a great way to practice your aim. So to find this server, or these servers, you can just type in Deathmatch under the tags in the server browser, and all the Deathmatch servers will come up. You can also find it through the game modes, but I recommend doing it through this way. I usually find better players and servers. But anyways, I'm going to go into my favorite Deathmatch server. I'll put the IP in the comments section below. I just pointed down in real life. I'm not sure why you guys can't see me. But anyways, this is a great way to practice your aim, because it's just constant killing. I mean, that's basically what it is. It's very violent, to be perfectly honest, but that's what Counter-Strike is. So this is a great way to practice your aim, and you can choose any gun. So if you're not so great with a certain weapon, you can choose that and pretty much practice it for the next 10 hours until you get good at it. And you can just go in here. There's a bunch of different servers. Some are like this, where it's an aim map. You're just on either side shooting at each other, and then other deathmatch servers will be on maps like DDoS 2, and that will be a better server to practice spray control and that kind of stuff, because you won't really ever get in close range in aim map servers. So if you want to practice your spray control, you should probably go into a server that's on like something like DDoS 2. But this is also a great way to warm up before a competitive match, or a league match, something like that, because like any other sport, you play better when you're warmed up, your muscles are relaxed. I don't know, it's something like that. But anyways, it definitely does help to be warmed up. I always find that I play a lot better if I deathmatch for at least a half an hour to an hour before I play a competitive match or something like that. So let's move on to tip number 4. Okay, so this next tip is going to be for newer players or people who are frustrated with deathmatch, because sometimes it does get sickening because, you know, you'll go through phases where you'll die 15 times in a row without even seeing a player. So this is going to be practicing with bots. It's basically just murdering bots for hours on end. It sounds stupid, but it actually does help with your aiming, and you can actually download specific configs that will make the bots not shoot back at you, so you can basically just keep killing them for hours on end without actually having to worry about dying like you would in a regular deathmatch. But that's actually an article that I found on Reddit that will show you how to set up those configs, so I'll put that in the description below. But this is another good way to warm up, like I said, if you're frustrated with deathmatching, because I think deathmatching would be the more effective route because you're fighting actual people and you just can't really replicate that with bots. Okay, so the final tip of the video is going to be to find the right sensitivity and crosshair that you're comfortable with. So a lot of this will be personal preference, but it's important to find the right one that you like, because if you're not happy with your crosshair, or if you don't feel comfortable with your current sensitivity, you're definitely going to want to make a change. And so you're not going to want to have too high of a sensitivity because there won't be any precision. But instead of adjusting it on here, you can just go into your console, type in sensitivity, and then the number that you want. So a lot of this will depend on your mouse settings as well. But you don't want it to be too high, else you won't be able to aim pretty much unless you're really used to it and really accurate. But you also don't want it too low, so you have to do, you know, a 3-point turn to actually turn around. So just try to find that happy medium and something that you're comfortable with. And then in terms of crosshair, some people will like it small and some people will like it large. That's what she said. Immature joke. Haha. Anyways, yes, so just find the right color and size, oh my god, that you're happy with, and just go from there. You can actually also go online. There's a Crosshair Generator. I'll put that in the description below, but you can pretty much adjust your crosshair right on there, and you won't have to change all the console commands, and it's a lot quicker and easier to actually get the right crosshair using that website. And from there, it will give you all of the console commands to actually get that crosshair. So it's a pretty awesome website, and I definitely recommend using it if you want to change your crosshair. It's a lot quicker, as I said. But anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this video. So thank you for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, because it does help me out a lot. And on top of that, you will be eligible to win a CSGO case key in our next CSGO video if you comment and subscribe to our channel. But I mentioned that in the beginning, so you already know that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Peace.